Good evening, everybody. Rick Yaklin here with Dying a Detroit Lions fan. And sorry for the delay in getting back with week two. But this podcast and YouTube channel um, product will deal with week two, the results of our lowly Lions. And we'll also take a look at the preview of week number 3 going forward. One of the reasons that I did not turn around and follow up the week 2 loss to the Green Bay Packers with a podcast or a YouTube cast was the fact that I became too numb to the fact that the Lions are just this damn pitiful. That the fat ass that's the coach, wannabe, egotistical piece of shit, has no fucking clue what he's doing. And old lady Ford, and that's not to put her down in any way. I do not mean disrespect to her, other than the fact that she's a member of the Ford family. And from that static point, you know what? To hell with all of them. But the fact that she supposedly stepped down, and daughter Sheila, the genius of the business side of the women of the Ford family, stepped in and said that she was going to be involved, and she would all of a sudden start showing us the fact that she's not going to settle for substandard play or piece of shit representation on the field. Well, that's all bullshit. So, because Sheila Ford has not been in the public eye, has not made a statement, has not came anywhere since she was given the reign by Mama Ford. She's just another money-hungry bitch of the Ford family that doesn't give a fuck about the fans of Detroit. Not that I wanted to get off on Sheila Ford, because that's the least of the problems that we have here. Well, no, it's the beginning of it. That's the top of the pyramid, because the Ford family, since 1957, when they got involved with the Detroit Lions, and in 1962, when the old man bought the fucking franchise and became the sole owner of the franchise, this is what we've seen. And it's kind of ridiculous. I fully expected, after the meltdown in Green Bay, which, by the way, has been well reputed on all of the Detroit Lion groups that are on Facebook, as well as anything you see on Twitter from the Free Press, whatever the case may be. But our little buddy, the little fat fuck from New England, the egotistical cocksucker that thinks he knows what the fuck he's doing, that sucked on Bill Belichick's dick for all those years, we now know the truth. That motherfucker's not a defensive coordinator. He did what Bill told him to do, and that's the only reason why he was ever still in New England. I got more on this later, because very, very, very good comment came out on a national radio show today about Matt Fat Ass Patricia, that hopefully some of you heard, but if you haven't, I'll kind of reiterate what was said on a national radio show, not only on television, but on Sirius Radio also, between 12 and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, we're a laughingstock. The fucking Detroit Lions are a laughingstock once again for another year. There's so much to be dismantled about it, or disgusted about. It's unbelievable. But number one, I did not expect the Detroit Lions to win in Green Bay. I'm sorry. I just didn't see it happening. It's Detroit. It's Green Bay. And we got Matt Patricia as a fucking coach. Excuse me, I had to get my beer. But I didn't expect a great deal out of the game. However, I was impressed the way that Detroit opened the game. moved the ball, scored some points. And then all of a sudden, before halftime, our defense looks like our defense under Matt Patricia, the guru defensive coordinator that's supposed to know what the fuck he's doing. Folks, you guys realize that last year he would never commit to who called plays for the defense, right? Yet the quote unquote defensive coordinator for the Lions were fired. Now he brings in this new guy, Underlin, or whatever the hell his name is, okay? And he states that Underlin's going to be making the calls. A very good point was made today in regards to the fact that Bill Belichick people do not do well head coaching wise. Charlie Weiss, Matt Patricia, whoever their offensive coordinator is now that had the opportunity in Denver and fucked that all up. And one major thing ran through it is the people thought they're fucking egotistical and they thought that they were the stars. They don't understand the fact that Bill runs that fucking program. The only reason you stay as a coach with Bill Belichick is because you follow his rules, his game plan, and do what he tells you to do. Otherwise, you're out of it. Now, Wise, at one point, was his offensive coordinator, and he got the opportunity because of Tom Brady to go to head coaching position, which he fucking failed at miserably. Notre Dame, I believe. McDaniels, that's the one that went to Denver. He failed miserably because he's all egotistical and bullshit too. And Patricia, his egotistical piece of shit, worthless fucking composition of a human being possible, has an ego that's so fucking large, I can't believe he can fit it in that fat fucking face with a beard of his. Worthless, absolutely worthless son of a bitch. And I'll mention this because it comes up from this article, or not article, but the show that I watched this afternoon also. But anyways, Detroit goes ahead and squanders their lead again, once again. How many times do we have to do this over and over and over again? And of course, you got these idiots that are on Facebook that turn around and they're talking about the fact that, it's the Lions, just give them a break. It's only 2 weeks, no preseason, no this, no that. When are you fucking people going to realize the fact that this is the Detroit Lions that are owned by the Fords? They don't give a fuck about winning. They've never given a shit about winning. All they care about is money. And it's ridiculous that you people even think about something like that. Facebook groups are going ballistic right now, saying that people that badmouth the Detroit Lions should be banned from groups or whatever the case may be. You know what? I'm 64 years fucking old. I've been around a long time. Most of these people that are in these Facebook groups are way younger than me. They have no clue of what it's like to be a Detroit Lion fan. They've never lived through and saw the bullshit since 1957 that we've seen, the elderly people that have been a long-time supporter of the Detroit Lions. I answered one of the questions in regards to the fact that if you hate the Detroit Lions so bad and you're going to nothing but bad mother, why don't you just leave the fucking group? Well, you know what? Because it's actually hilarious to watch the sheep that follow the Detroit Lions that don't get a fucking clue, don't have a fucking clue as to what they are doing. It's wonderful that you can be a fan and have hope and believe that things are going to change tomorrow. You probably believe in fucking Santa Claus and Easter Bunny too. Good for you. Well, you know what? Reality is like a little bit different than that, folks. It doesn't quite work that way. When someone like myself that can turn around and say that I do not remember 1957, I was 1 year old. I do not remember that, but I've been a Lion fan since that time. I'll continue to be a Lions fan till I die. I'm loyal. I watch games. When I lived out of state, if the Lions played in LA, I was there at the game. I've seen them play in different stadiums. I am loyal, but I'm a realist. I'm 64. This team has got talent offensively. And the defense is an absolute fucking joke for an NFL team. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to pause on that, but I'm going to come back to our defense and what this fat ass has did to give us any kind of an idea of an identity that we don't have because we never had one. I mean, ever since he's been here, we haven't had a team. But before I go, I want to mention the fact that through 34 games, the last 4 coaches we have actually had better records than Matt Patricia does at this day at 9-24-1. Marinelli and Schwartz were 10-24. This fat fuck's only won 9 games. So you're going 2.5 years or 2 years and a quarter or whatever. Okay? But 34 games. Jim Caldwell was 16-18. And Jim Caldwell at least had 2 back-to-back 9-7 seasons prior to the Wonder Boy getting the promotion to be the general manager. And Wonder Boy turns around and says 9-7 is not good enough. He didn't mind riding Caldwell to the playoffs that first year he was here. Looked pretty good. Next year he runs 9-7. The Lions don't make the playoffs because of tiebreakers, whatever the case may be. And Mr. Little Ego that comes in with a little pencil-headed little dickhead, okay, he turns around, comes in and says 9-7 is not good enough. He's got to bring his buddy, Matt, fat-ass Patricia into Detroit because they're going to make it be the New England way, and they're going to learn how to win games. Let's take a break. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, sorry for the delay. For some of you that don't know, is I do a podcast and a YouTube channel at the same time, a YouTube video. And I break out segments on the podcast because I do have some advertisers that get in. And it's not something I like to do, but I don't really want to have too long a segments on the podcast. I don't mind what I do when it comes down to the YouTube. But that's why, and I apologize and appreciate you standing by and staying with me when I do that. But let's go back to the defense of the Detroit Lions. We already discussed the fact that Fat Ass has the worst record of any coach in the last basically decade through the first 34 games of his tenure. And to be honest with you, the meltdown in Green Bay did not surprise me. I fully expected that. I mean, you know, Detroit somehow seems to beat Green Bay once every year somehow, some way. And it's usually on the play of Matt Stafford. And speaking of Stafford, I'm so sick and tired of hearing these loyal Lions fans that say they're loyal Lion fans saying that we fucked up by not getting Tua. Yeah, okay. You got a Pro Bowl fucking quarterback in Matt Stafford that we've never given any support to. When I say we, I mean the Fords and the organization have never given any support to him. That poor kid's been out there playing hurt. He puts everything on the line all the time, and we give him no help. He's never had a fucking running game. Ever. He's got the most passing yards of anybody through whatever 9th year of his or whatever he's in. The most touch. He's got every record in the Detroit record book when it comes down to quarterbacks. I don't understand why you people don't understand that it's not Matt Stafford's problem. It's the organization. It's the ownership. It's the general manager. It is the coaching. It's bullshit that this kid has put in 9 years with the Detroit Lions and has some of the best passing stats, quarterback stats that there is in the NFL, and the poor kid never gets a chance to get to the playoffs and do anything. I don't want to hear about Stafford lost a game in the playoffs. Fuck. If it wouldn't be for Stafford, we never would have been in a playoff game. So for you people that think that Stafford's the issue, get a fucking life. Go follow the Jets. Go follow the fucking Chicago Bears. Do something, but don't try to sit here and write on Facebook posts that it's all Stafford's fault or the rookie's fault for dropping a fucking pass. Where'd the defense go? The Detroit Lions had that first game won too. The poor kid dropped a pass. I remember seeing Charlie Sanders drop passes. I can remember Megatron dropping passes. I can remember Barry Sanders getting stopped for a 20-yard loss. Shit happens. You don't blame it on a rookie in his first fucking game. How about the play calling? Oh, I'll get to that in a minute too. But anyways, after the meltdown in Green Bay, I sincerely believe. Matter of fact, I swear I heard that Bob Quinn said he was going to have a press conference the next morning. I fully anticipated that was going to be he was going to fire Matt Patricia. Now I know I either heard it or read it on Twitter that Quinn had called for a press conference. I wake up on Monday and there's no press conference, nothing happens. And lo and behold, that fat fuck Patricia is sitting in doing a Monday afternoon press conference with the Lions press group. What the fuck? Where's Sheila Ford? Where is this bitch that's going to turn around and say she's going to demand some fucking competency out of this team? Why is she hiding underneath her mother's fucking dress? Is she senile like her mother? I don't get it. Something's wrong. And if you don't think that the Detroit Lions don't give a shit about anything for the fans whatsoever, that all they're looking at is money, you fucking people are crazy. Now let's talk about our lovely defense that we have that is now the retirement home for ex-New England Patriots. Oh, how much money did we pay all these ex-Patriots come in because they want to play for Patricia? Well, when are they going to start fucking playing for Patricia? Can someone tell me that? Bottom line is, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia have fucked the Detroit Lions, the organization, the city, the state, and the fans because they are just making dollars because they know they're on the way fucking out. They're giving all these assholes that were already turned around and cut by Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick don't get rid of you if you got potential left. He don't let you go. You're done. That's why you're out of there. And Fatty Matty wants to bring him in here because, oh, yeah, they played during my Super Bowl era. And speaking of which, I won't even I'm going to bring it up now. This afternoon, to show you the fucking gall of this motherfucking idiot we have as a coach, a question was asked of him by a reporter in Detroit. Is there something that you think maybe you should do different in regards to your coaching defense strategies or whatever that's just not coming through or whatever? And this egotistical, fat motherfucker, pencil in her head motherfucker, turns around and says, I think I had one of the best calls ever in the NFL, in the Super Bowl. Fuck him. He didn't make the fucking call. Belichick did. And if it wasn't meant for that player jumping the route, that would have been probably a touchdown anyways. And heaven forbid, don't forget that this coach that is such a fucking genius turned around and hired the offensive coordinator for Seattle to become our offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell. Now, I know Patricia knows nothing about fucking offense. It's very obvious because he doesn't know anything about fucking defense. I don't think he knows anything about fucking football other than sucking Bill Belichick's jock. But anyways, Bevel, if he ran that ball, Patricia doesn't have a fucking stop. Marshawn Lynch would have taken that in for a fucking touchdown. It was the biggest mistake and blunder probably in Super Bowl history from a team that controlled that game. So Mr. Egotistical there tells you a little something. And I will come back to the fact of the national program about the opinions of a national writer, not someone here in Detroit, but someone that is a national sports person, okay, that reads the tea leaves much like I do, because they only lead to one fucking thing, and that's the motherfucker's inept. So anyways, Sheila doesn't come into a press conference. No one comes into a press conference. I let that fat fuck go in and do it. And now I'm hearing we're going to bring in another fucking retread from the Patriots to help our defense. I thought we helped our defense. I thought all these people that we brought in helped our defense. Funny, huh? The Wonder Kid Quinn and the fat ass can't seem to figure out how to win a fucking football game. 11 in a row. And we thought going 0-16 was bad. Undamn believable. Okay, so week 2 is a disaster. We're going to week 3, and we got to play Arizona. Let's take another break, and then I'll come back and we will discuss Arizona and what I anticipate is going to happen. But also, before I get to that, I will bring up the national sports commentators' comments in regards to our lovely Detroit Lions. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. And we're back to Dying a Detroit Lions fan. This is our third segment of the night. We're going to talk about the upcoming game that we have against the Arizona Cardinals. And just so everybody hopefully remembers, this was our opening game last year in the 2019 season, where an experienced Detroit Lions team with a second-year coach ended up letting a rookie quarterback, little rookie quarterback, burst on the scene and make a name for himself by not quitting and coming back, tying the Lions in regulation, and then our worthless offense, worthless defense couldn't do anything, and the game ended up in a tie. So it wasn't a loss for Matt Patricia, but it's a tie. So him and Bob Quinn probably went and kissed and had a good time, or whatever the case may be. But if we look at that team also had a rookie coach, Kingsbury, a college coach, came in to coach an NFL team, got rid of a quarterback they had a year before to bring in a rookie quarterback, and they made the Detroit Lions look like a high school team. Since that time, we've seen the Arizona Cardinals rise and become a much better team. And we've seen our loyal, lovely Honolulu and blue Detroit Lions deteriorate into a piece of shit. So what do I expect this week in the desert? First of all, it's a shame that the Lions have to go back 2 years in a row to Arizona, because it's very obvious that they don't really play at home that well, let alone having to go on the road. I don't know what it is, but the Lions don't play good on the road. They don't play that great at home, as we can tell by our record and our futility over the years. But they're going on the road. They're going to have to play in Arizona. The good thing is it's going to be a 4 o'clock game, so we can't complain that it's going to be something like, a 10 o'clock game for them, a.m. time. So they should get plenty of rest in their hotels or whatever the case may be. But I fully expect the Detroit Lions to get their asses kicked in Arizona. I see one glimmer of hope for the Lions to win this game. And I'm going to be against something that I would normally say would be team-orientated sports. But I'm sure from the comments that have been made in the last week about players having the fat asses back and they support their coach, they're saying that because most of the people they're talking to are expatriates, okay, who, you know what, they're getting a paycheck. They don't give a fuck. They're here in retirement. They would not be playing in the NFL today if it wouldn't have been for Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia giving them a contract. They'd be done. They'd be done. Retirement. They're over. See you later. Bye. The only way the Detroit Lions have a chance to win this fucking game, week 3 against the Arizona Cardinals, is if, number 1, Matt Stafford calls his own game. And by that, I mean, let Stafford call a game from the line of scrimmage. Or, number 2, Bevel realizes the fact that this is a sinking fucking ship. And whatever game plan the non-coach that we have puts into effect, he just disregards it. And he runs the offense the way he wants to run the offense. Him and Stafford get together, and they comprise a offense that is go, fast-paced, quick, hit. And the Lions need to score 42 points plus. And the scary part about all that is, let's say that this actually happens and the Lions score 42 points plus. I really don't think that the Detroit Lions defense, especially with Matt Patricia as a coach, could possibly stop another team with Kyler Murray, Hopkins, Fitzgerald, Chase Edmonds, and the offense that Arizona has from scoring 43. So there's a very good chance that it's not going to be 4 games in a row that the Lions have lost a double-digit lead. It's going to be probably 5. And if there's any God in this fucking universe, or if Mrs. Ford gets out of her slumber and maybe watches the game because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe she can watch a 4 o'clock in the afternoon game, not a 1 o'clock game. I don't know. I really can't tell because she's an old lady. She might sleep in. But Sheila Ford ought to be watching the fucking game. And if she's not in Arizona, she ought to fucking make a phone call and keep that fat ass off the plane, Bob Quinn off the plane, and tell them to find their own way home because they're no longer a member of the Detroit Lions organization. If the Detroit Lions go out here, and I may be exaggerating at 42 points, but I really think it's going to take 42 or more for the Detroit Lions to win this game because I don't think the defense can stop Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury when it comes down to their offensive that they run. I think it's going to be a field day. They're going to have a field day on Detroit. Detroit has no defense whatsoever. They're going to run. They're going to pass. They're going to have a blast. And Kyler Murray could maybe run for 200 yards himself and pass for 4 touchdowns. Holy Christ. This team is a shamble. I'm happy I'm getting a tattoo Sunday afternoon because I'll only be able to listen to the game. I want to watch it. And, I won't be tempted to throw shit at my television screen. It's disgusting. So, yes, I'm predicting another Detroit Lions loss. I don't want to. I love my Lions. This is a game they should win. They should have won against Chicago. I can live losing to Green Bay, who is, after 2 weeks, number one in every offensive category in the NFL. Mitchell Trubisky's still Mitchell Trubisky, for Christ's sakes. And he beats us because we have no defense and no coach that knows how to coach a fucking team, period. Oh, it's fucking suggestive. It's just ridiculous. So anyways, that's what I see happening this week. And, I hope to Christ I come on next week and tell you I was wrong. The Lions played a wonderful game. The defense stepped up, But you know what? I'm going into the third season of watching Matt Patricia behind the bench or on the sidelines as the head coach of this team. And I absolutely have no confidence in that cocksucker. None whatsoever. All right, let's go back to the national media type response to Matt Patricia today. Some people don't like Colin Cowherd. He's on Fox Sports 1. He has the show The Herd between 12 and 3 on Fox Sports 1, their TV network, but it's also on Sirius Network, radio network. He actually did a commentary about, coaches, and basically Patricia's an easy one. Adam Gase is there too, but Patricia's an easy one. Patricia should already be gone. And he's actually the one that brought the highlight out about Patricia's press conference, talking about the fact that I made a call in a Super Bowl. I think my pedigree is secure. Egotistical cocksucker. You do realize that he coached under probably the best coach that there is in the NFL, and Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick knows more about offense, defense, and he puts a game plan together that all of his assistants have to do is follow the game plan. They don't interject anything to it. They do what Bill tells them to do. Patricia has no clue how to, number one, prepare a game plan, let alone how to prepare a defensive game plan. It was all done for him by Bill Belichick. All Patricia had to do is make sure substitutions were made. He didn't make calls. He really didn't make calls. The Mike linebacker and Belichick were in communication. They made calls. All Patricia did was shuffle players. And he had that big list in front of him, the one he hides his face with. All that was just knowing who's playing on what downs and what situations. That's all it was. But Cowherd came up with a thing about the fact that how come Andy Reid disciples do well as head coaches in the NFL, and why do not Bill Belichick's coaches do well in the NFL? And the reason it is because they work for a genius. Bill Belichick is a genius. And the people that work under him, because of the success that Bill Belichick has, they think these people have genius mentalities too. Well, unfortunately, we're seeing the fact that Patricia doesn't even have mentality. He's worthless. Weiss was worthless. Josh McDaniels, with his ego, he was worthless when he went to Denver. And the only person that looks like they're knowing what they're doing right now is a person that doesn't have an ego, and that's the guy that's running the Miami Dolphins right now. He was a disciple of Bill Belichick. But he's a realist. Didn't go to his head. I really hope that Sheila Ford gets out of her fucking Bloomfield Hills or wherever the fuck she lives home and is at either the airport or at the facility by the time Patricia and Quinn get there Monday, and she fires Matt Patricia. And Bob Quinn ought to be put on notice the fact that, here's the deal you got. I want all of these expatriates gone off this roster by the end of the year. You start trading them now. You do anything you got to do. Cut them. I don't give a fuck. Get rid of them. Because your ass is going to be gone too in December at the end of the year. And I'm going in a new direction. And right now, I need you to at least, because you have got contacts, get rid of these people. And if you don't start getting rid of the people within 3 weeks, well, then you can be unemployed too. And you can go back and suck on Bill Belichick's dick, just like Patricia's going to go do. But Sheila Ford, I'm not sure she's got panties big enough to fucking do that. I don't know if I trust her. Well, as a matter of fact, I know I don't trust her. She's just another Ford family member that's there to make a buck. Doesn't give a fuck about the fans, doesn't give a fuck about the Lions, doesn't give a fuck about anything except for how much money is going in her pocket. That's it for week number 2. Going into week number 3, I sure hope I can have like a really positive broadcast on Sunday or Monday to recap the Arizona game. And I hope that Bevel and Patricia Bevel and Stafford ignore everything that's in a game plan that Patricia may put out. And they decide to run an offense like it's a run and shoot back in the day from Detroit and score as many points as possible, because this defense won't be able to hold anybody. And they're going to need to score 40 plus in order to win this game. Have a good night. Sorry for the swearing, but this is an explicit podcast and YouTube channel. I'm not going to apologize for my language because I'm actually pretty well fed up with the Detroit Lions, and it's really hard to be civil when discussing incompetence that is seen week in and week out by this organization. Have a good night. Rick Yaklin with Dying a Detroit Lions Fan.